In this video, we're going to learn how to stream video into a Sumerian scene. Specifically, we're going to be looking at the state machine and also the HTML 3D component. Okay, before we get started, I'll just point out that we're going to be mostly covering this tutorial that you can find on our tutorials page, streaming video using an interactive TV. There's going to be a few script components, or a few scripts, JavaScript files, and also some HTML that we're going to pull from here. And so if you are following along, make sure you do look at this tutorial to find some of that information. All right, so let's jump over to Sumerian. Here we are at the dashboard. I'm going to open, let's see, where is my TV room tutorial? This is the video, this is the scene that I created in the last video, the TV room. So we're just going to start where we left off. So I'll open this up. And if you remember, there should be a temporary light that is turned on that we might need to delete, or at least hide from view. Actually, it looks like it's okay. All right, so we are good to go. Let's see, we are hiding the two panels on the left and right, so I will expand the left panel and expand the right panel to get everything back. And I can also, if I hover in between the canvas and the panels, I can drag them over a little bit to see a little bit more. All right, so remember, in the entities panel, we have a lot of different entities. So several speakers, several lights, pedestals, right wall light, track lights, all sorts of different things. And so if you do get a little confused, it's okay. You might make sure that you collapse all of your parent entities so that you're not getting a lot more stuff visible here than you need. All right, so what we have here is a stagnant scene. Nothing really happens here. If we press play, and I will go ahead and press play to test it out and see what it looks like, doesn't really do much. It just is empty. I can move around like normal, but nothing plays, nothing moves, there's no behaviors, there's nothing like that. So what we are going to do is we're going to do two different things. We're first going to show you how to just add video, a single video into your scene, and then we're going to show you how to add a channel changer. And we're going to use, I'll zoom in here. Actually, let's find the echo. I'm going to use this echo that's right below the TV as my channel changer, meaning when you click on this echo, it's going to shift and change through various YouTube channels or YouTube videos. So that's the second part. First half, we're just going to look how to put a single one in there, and then we're going to look in how to add a state machine, another HTML 3D component to toggle and change and switch between multiple videos in the same scene. All right, so let's start off with the basics. Let's add an HTML 3D component. We're going to click Create Entity up here above the canvas, and we'll find the HTML 3D. So we have HTML 3D entity. We're going to name this to Video Single. All right, and it's probably going to be down here at the bottom. Where did it go? That's right, it's always in the back lower left-hand corner of the room. So I'll slide it. Oops. Oh no, not wanting to move the whole room. Just the HTML 3D component. We'll slide that over. So what we're going to be doing is really just putting this HTML 3D component right on top of the TV. Now, for a lot of these tutorials, you don't necessarily need to get a lot of the transform values exactly correct. For this one, I would recommend you do. The reason being, you want it to match as well, it fit nicely in the TV. You don't want it to be too behind it. You don't want to be too far in front of it. You want it to be as tight on there as possible. So we have some very specific values that we have for the transform. So I'll go ahead and enter those in now. And so it is, let me back up. It's actually 2.36 for the X. Then it is 1.505244. And for the Z, you can't see it yet, but this will bring it out in front, is negative 6.799623. All right. Now you see, it's kind of hard. I'm trying to get a good view here for you. It is in front of the TV. But as you notice, it's a square and it doesn't fit right. So we got to change the scale. So I'm going to uncheck uniform scale, and I'm going to change these to make it the right dimensions. So 2.9 on the X, and then 1.44, 9307. And then for the Z, 1.45, 7094. Okay, so there it is. All right, the next thing we want to do is open the editor. And in the editor, what we're going to have here is this is where we actually put in our HTML code. Or really, we're just going to put in iframe and embed an iframe in here from a specific video. So let's jump over to YouTube. And you don't have to use YouTube. You can use Vimeo. You can use really whatever video streaming platform you want. You can even embed videos that you posted on or host on Twitter. So we'll look at the Amazon Web Services channel. Let's look at this. I believe it's just
turning their dreams into reality.
All right, I'll go ahead and pause it. And I'll find, and it's going to be the same process, same workflow for any platform, video platform. You just find the share button, and then you're looking for the embed. So once you find the embed, you can copy this code. You can even just press the copy button. You have some other options here, though. If you don't want it to, when it finishes playing, you don't want it to show suggested videos when the video is done playing, you can uncheck that. You can uncheck video player controls, show video title. So you have these options for the embed. You can't control this as you view it on the channel, but that's just when you embed it into your scene. So I don't want it to show suggested videos, and I'm going to keep like that. So I'm going to copy. Then I'll jump back over to Sumerian. I'll open an editor, and I'll replace everything here with that iframe code. And we'll save it. It's very important that when you're using the text editor. And one thing I'll point out is that this is the text editor. We have not actually used this so far in any of the videos. If you're following from one video to the next, we have not used the text editor yet. So this is the Sumerian text editor. Allows you to edit JavaScript, just regular scripts, HTML, also add speeches, and do markdown or markup for speeches. So you can edit, it's just a text editor, so you can edit really whatever you want in here. So we are using HTML because this is an HTML 3D component. So that's what we're using right now. We'll jump back over here, and there you go. Right away, it appears on the TV. So if I press play,
meet the new builders. They see what doesn't exist, and
press
they
play,
make it
press
exist.
play on
and
the video
we're the cloud
itself.
that's obsessed
So we can
with
move
turning their
around and
dreams
see it
into
is in
reality.
3D space.
Because we believe nothing should stand in the builder's way.
So
Amazon
super
Web
simple
Services.
to actually just play a 3D video or play a video in 3D space here. All you got to do is grab that embed iframe code. All right, so that's how you do it for a single video. But let's say you want to add, and this is in the tutorial, let's say you want to add multiple videos and you want to change between them or interact with those videos based on clicking on some object, and in our case, we're going to use the echo. So let's follow the same thing we've already done. We're going to create an HTML 3D component, and we're going to rename it Video Changer. Oops, I do not want to log out. All right, so I have video single, I have video changer. I'm going to hide video single because we don't want to see that right now. And it goes back to the way it was. Actually, let me back up. I'm going to delete this. Something that would have been a lot easier is I'm going to duplicate video single. And then I'm going to name video single 2 video changer. The reason I did this is because instead of entering in all those values for the transform, now they have the same values, and I'm just going to show video changer. Great, and now they have the same values over here. Okay, so but what? And again, I'm pulling all of this information, most of it from the tutorial, a written tutorial we have on our site. So make sure you check that out if you're wanting to follow along exactly. Yeah, just make sure you don't miss that, because a lot of the information I'm going to be having or using in this tutorial, you can find there. All right, so we have an additional TV. Now we're going to replace everything that we have here. So instead of having this video, we're going to add this HTML code. And what this is going to do is basically communicate with another script we're going to add that's going to hold all the information for our videos. Okay, so again, you can get this HTML from the tutorial that is walking through the same things we're walking through in this video. We'll go ahead and press save, and we'll exit out of that. Then what we need to add now is a script component. So you click add component. Remember, we have the video changer selected. So we add component, and then we click script. And then we don't have any scripts yet, so we need to press the plus button. And we just want to add a custom script. We're going to write it ourselves. Or more accurately, we're just going to copy and paste one that we already have here. And to edit the script, we press the plus button. To add a script, to edit it, you got to hit this little pencil icon or edit button. And that'll pull up the text editor again. And here again, you can see the different text files that we have. So here we have an HTML file, the video single, video changer, and now our script file. So I'm going to replace everything in here with this script. And what it has actually already inside of it is 4 different videos, YouTube videos, and it has their iframe embeds already here. One thing I didn't mention for the last video is that you can change the width and the height of your video to make sure that it matches correctly, and so it displays correctly here in on your TV. And because I clicked out of that, let's go back to it. All right, so let's see, I've hit save. All right, so we are ready to go. One thing I want to point out is this next stream. This script is listening for this message here, next stream. And so in the next part, what we're going to build is a state machine behavior that uses an emit message function that emits a message out into our scene, and every time this script hears this message, next stream, it'll switch between these videos that you see up here at the top. And that'll, again, become a little bit more clear in a minute, but just notice that next stream is right here, and we're going to be using that here shortly. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and then on this, not with the video changer selected, we actually want to select the echo, because the echo is going to be the entity that's going to be initiating these different videos. So to start, we do have the echo selected. We'll click add component, and we're going to add a state machine. We'll press the plus button to start a new state machine. Now in the written tutorial, it says name this BHV channel add. You don't need to necessarily do that. You can really name it whatever you want. I'm just going to call it echo changer. All right, and we have one state here, and to move states, you always have to add an action. And so we're going to go ahead and click add action. And the action that we want is entity hover enter. Now, I could explain exactly what I'm doing as I'm doing it. It's a little bit easier to explain it once we have a more filled out behavior. So don't worry, we will get to what all these different things are shortly. Before we do want to change this, the accuracy of this action over here to per pixel slow. This is important. It will not work properly if you don't change that. And then we're also going to add another action, which is a wait action. And 5 seconds is probably fine. That's 5,000 milliseconds, or 5 seconds. All right, so that's our state 1. We want to add another state, and we're going to name this state hover on. And we're going to add an action. And it's going to be the click or tap on entity. And then the next action is going to be entity hover exit. We're going to add that. And then we're going to add another action again. This time we want to look for scale, search and add scale. All right, so we now have on this state, we have, if you look over here in the entities panel, we have 3 different actions: a click, a hover, and a scale. So 3 different things will happen or can happen just in this one state. We do want to make sure that we are changing this accuracy also to per pixel slow. And the scale here, we're going to go 1.05, 1.05, and 1.05. And uncheck relative. All right, so what is happening here? Let's see. Let me just add a quick transition here. All right, so what is happening? When we press play, the only thing that's going to happen is that a video is going to play. All right, so the video will play, but this behavior of changing the channels using the echo isn't going to start yet, because the echo is just sitting in basically a waiting state. So it is waiting for us to hover our mouse over the echo. Once it does, it transitions to this state. And once it's waiting on this state, it is waiting for us to either leave the echo with our cursor or click on it. So if while we're hovering on it, I will say, the scale changes to 1.05 in size. So it actually just grows a little bit. So this is just to show some interactivity, and this is normal. When you, in a lot of websites and stuff, when you hover over something, it grows just a bit to show that you're hovering on it. And so that's all it's doing, is that if you hover on it, it gets a little bit bigger. If you stop hovering on it, it will then go back down in size. But if you click on it, it'll go something else. So we haven't completed our behavior yet. We'll continue on and to kind of see what happens next. So let's add state again. And we're going to call this hover off. And we are going to add an action, and it's going to be the scale action. I didn't spell that right. So scale, there it is. And we're just going to make it 1, 1, 1 and turn relative off. And we are also going to add a transition action. So make sure that if you're following along, make sure that your state has both of these actions on it. All right, and then we need to add one more state. And we're going to call this state next channel. That might be confusing. Next video. So we'll call it next video. And this one's also going to have 3 different states. We'll click add action. The first one is going to be an emit message. Remember, this is the message that I was talking about before. I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in there. Next stream. I'll explain that in a minute once we get this all set up. Click add action again. Scale, not smoke. We did not want that. Remove that. Click add action. Scale. And this one we're going to make a little bit smaller, 0.95. And uncheck relative. And then we're also going to click the wait action. And I think I messed this, screwed this up for a second. I think this does need to be 100. I'm going to make this 100 on the state 1. The wait time is 100 milliseconds. Okay. I'm going to add transitions. You add transitions by clicking on what we call the transition label, clicking and holding and then dragging to the state in which you want it to transition to. All right. So now that we have everything here, it'll make a little bit more sense. All right. So when I press play, the video is going to play. That's fine. However, we're not going to be able to shuffle through the different videos that we have loaded in that script until we start interacting with this echo. So when we hover on it, what's going to happen is it's going to transition to this hover on, and it'll grow a little bit. The echo will be, 5% bigger than it was before. If we hover off, it transitions down to this hover off state, and it goes back to its regular size. So the scale of 1, 1, 1, that's just its normal size. And then because we just have a regular transition action here, it transitions back to state 1. So really these three states do, the only thing they do is that when you hover on it, it gets bigger. If you hover off of it, it then goes back to being its regular normal size. However, if you're hovering on it and then you click on it, then it transitions from this hover on state over to this next video state. It then emits this message, which is next stream. The scene hears that, the HTML, the video, what do we call it? The video changer, which is our HTML 3D component that has the different videos on there. It hears that message. Next, what was it again? Oh, it's right there. Next stream. And then it goes to the next video. So it'll display the next video and the next video and the next video every time you click it. And so then every time you click it, it transitions back to here. If it sees that your cursor is off, then it transitions to this. And then it'll go back down in size. And then again, it just kind of keeps going. So the majority of this state really is all about just the echo growing and shrinking in size. And then, but if you do click on it, it transitions to this next video. It emits that message. The TV hears that. It changes channels. And then this behavior continues on its way. So let's give it a shot and see how this works. Mode. It is not playing those. So what might be the problem? I'm going to go ahead and stop it. I have an idea of what might be the problem. I'm going to open up my script. I'm going to edit my script. Aha. So this is the default script. It didn't save the script that I had entered in here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste. It's really important that you got to hit save before you exit out of your text editor. So let's see if that works a little better. There it goes. Great. It is sort of playing. Now, a few things we need to change though. You see how, let me go back and play that again. It's way too big. So you can tell that it's just showing the top corner of this video. Let's look at a few things that we need to adjust, which primarily is going to be the dimensions of this entity. So we'll click on Video Changer here. Let's say make sure that we match. Where is that? Let's open the editor here. Let's look at our script. So we have 1280 by 720 in these iframes. So I'm going to make sure I match that there. Let's press play if it looks any better. Much better. Okay. So you got to make sure that your width is matching as close as you can to the what you have in your editor or in your script in this case. So then we can press play. Video starts playing.
If you could do anything with your life.
Then if we click on the echo, it changes channels between different videos. Click on it again.
Amazon Web Services provide.
Close your eyes.
And there we go. Yeah, it's working. So yeah, so a couple things. I'm going to go ahead and stop the
If you could do
scene.
anything with your life.
Actually,
What would you
before I
like
do
to
that,
do?
I want to
My
just
father
want
told
to
me what it was
demonstrate
like
this.
before the war. He said every man was free.
When I hover on the echo, it goes a little bit bigger,
country
and when I
back.
hover off, it goes a little bit smaller. Hover on, it gets big. Hover off, it goes backwards regular size. If I hover on and then click it, then it gets smaller really quick, and then it continues on the path of the behavior. All right, so to recap, to make sure that your scripts are actually in there and that you're saving your scripts and your HTML files. Also, I need to stop it before I can edit in the text editor. So make sure that everything is being saved in here. That is not what happened with me. Lastly, you got to make sure that your iframe width here is matching your width in the HTML 3D component over here. And so if it's ever just not the right size, make sure that you are messing with those values that you have in your iframe and also in the HTML 3D component. You might need to take some adjustments to make sure that those are lining up correctly. Okay, that covers this tutorial. I hope you join us in our next video. Thank you.